Right, at 5 p.m, it's now yesterday, it's after midnight, I tweeted that I would run a marathon in my 6-metre long garden if I got 10,000 retweets. And it's got 10,000 retweets.
I'm raising money for the Wales Air Ambulance, and I'm going to be doing an Ironman in my conservatory.
I had a mad idea the other day when I just walked to the top of my house, to my bedroom for the 5th time, and I said to my wife, I think by the time this crisis is over I'm going to have climbed Everest. That gave me this idea. What if I climbed Everest virtually by walking up and down the stairs? I hadn't done any exercise. Well, I say exercise. I haven't really sort of worked out for the last 6 months. I had been running up till then, but I had a bit of a knee injury, and so I'd sort of work pressures of work. It's very easy to suddenly get out of the habit of training, and so yeah, in no sense had I prepared for this. It was just a case of really waking up on the morning before starting it and suddenly realising, yeah, I'm actually going to have to do this.
I hate running. I've never been a runner. I've never run more than about 15k before, so I thought, what's the worst thing I can do on my own at home? So I said, if I get 10,000 retweets, I'll run a marathon in my back garden. It's about 6 metres long. I got massively stitched up. Within 5.5 hours, it had 10,000 retweets, and then once it gained a bit of momentum, I set up a charity link to a just giving page. Donations quickly came in, and then less than 48 hours later, I said I'd run it.
I'm not a stranger to endurance events. I've done 7 Ironman previously, so I'm fairly fit and strong. So I just thought, well, what can I do? And I've got the equipment at home. I've got a treadmill, I've got a watt bike, I've got a rowing machine, I've got all that stuff. And it just came to me. I said to my wife, I'm going to do an Ironman in the conservatory. And she just looked at me as if I was crazy. And I said, but I'll do it for charity.
That was motivated after I heard about the theft of food from a food bank trolley in a local large supermarket. That made me think about how much the food banks were going to play an important role in everyone's lives right now when jobs have been ended prematurely, people without money.
And while we were talking about it and mulling over, I actually read a press release from Wales Air Ambulance. Their donations were going to fall away because they couldn't do in-store collections, they couldn't do cake sales and all that sort of stuff. So it just fell into place. The day I was talking about doing this, I read this thing, and it was a no-brainer. I just thought, right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and do an Ironman in my conservatory for the Wales Air Ambulance. So
one of my best mate's wife is the doctor, and she's been on maternity leave, and she went back on Thursday to work. She said that amount, 27,000, whatever it's at the moment, to pay for a couple of ventilators or whatever. So as long as it makes a small difference, then happy days.
2, 1, go. Well, there we are, and I'm delighted to say that.
Good morning, everyone. So about to start the challenge. I'm all ready for the first descent.
I'm the best part of an hour in now on the bike. I'm a K and a half in, so about 40 to go.
Take road.
Here we go.
Well, £10,006.14 were there by 713 supporters. I think that's just an incredible.
50%! I feel I need a celebration. Being British, there's only one way I could do that, is with a cup of tea.
Just saying, we've just managed to raise over 1,500 quid already, which is really, really good.
The boredom was the worst thing. I mean, physically it hurt, but just going and seeing the same flight of stairs again and again and again, what was 1,381 times over the course of a few days, was that was probably the hardest bit to deal with. I think nutrition was kind of key to me succeeding. I'm a committed vegan. I eat mainly a raw diet, very pulse-based. That kind of gave me the ability for my body to repair itself really fast, because I actually got faster over the course of the challenge. The last day was my fastest day of all, and I ended up running the last 800 metres.
if I go for a run on my own, you know, after half an hour, I've just had enough. It felt like it went quite quickly. The last 10k was the bit that felt like it took as long as the rest of it combined, just because my left knee felt like it was about twice the size of what it is normally, and I was sort of hobbling for a little bit at the end of it. But yeah, the fact that I needed people watching, I was trying to stay as distracted as possible during it. I had people ringing me during it and people speaking to me through the fence.
Initially, it didn't feel too bad. It felt pretty good. You know, I'm used to training in the conservatory because that's where my kit is, so it didn't feel too unusual to begin with because it was a natural surrounding. You know, I've sat in there for hours as time's gone on. But then it did start to feel a bit weird as the day progressed and as I got more and more tired. You know, just having this end goal to finish in this conservatory did feel a bit strange. I mean, a friend of mine, his mother was one of the cases locally that she unfortunately has passed away due to it. You know, so it is close, it is here, and it is worrying when you know that you can put a name and a face to it, and you know it's got someone. You know it's not just a news story.
You just got to find a way to keep yourself entertained, keep yourself healthy, and keep moving, and just be spontaneous and go and do something that'll help you, and two, might entertain some other people if that's what you want to do.
10 metres a minute and around 6 minutes. It's what we hope. And we've done it!
Come on!
James Campbell from Cheltenham completes the 6 metre Garden Marathon Challenge.
I've done 7 Ironman before. And, wow, they were a piece of piss compared to that. The overriding factor to that was best part of $3.5 grand. I can't keep a tab on the total. It just keeps jumping. Every time I look, it's gone up 50 quid.
Okay, here we go. Get ready. Press the space bar. Take 5 in. 100%. Through the door. Yeah!